Hello students, in the previous lecture I have explained you Kirchhoff's law. With the help of Kirchhoff's law, how will you simplify any electrical circuit? Analyze any electrical circuit. Means how will you determine the electric current and potential difference through various resistors in that electrical circuit. It's clear? Now today, so I have explained two laws. Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. What is the Kirchhoff's current law? So as you know that at any junction of an electrical network, sum of incoming currents is equal to the sum of outgoing currents. Now according to the Kirchhoff's voltage law, we will apply it in this form. Sigma IR equals to sigma I. And it will be applied in any loop, in any closed loop. So we will select some direction of traversing that loop. That direction will be arbitrary, totally upon you. You may select clockwise or you may select anti-clockwise. Any direction you can select. So if the direction across which you are traveling is in the direction of current through any resistor, then the I into R across that resistor will be taken positive. Otherwise it will be taken negative. Means if you are traversing opposite to the direction of current through that resistor, then I into R will be taken negative. Similarly for the EMF, if you are crossing to any cell from positive terminal to the negative terminal, EMF will be taken negative, and from negative to positive it will be taken positive. So now you can see here, that day I told that in the questions which I explained that day, if you have not watched the video, then you watch that video. So I explained that there will be current in various branches are given and you have to determine. Suppose if the current is not mentioned in any circuit, then how will you do? So today I will tell you this by taking a single current. And this question has been asked in 2019 CBSE examination. In one set this question was asked. So see here this is the setup and you have to determine the current through 40 ohm and 20 ohm. Though here there are two cells, but we will not take two current, we will take only one current. Suppose since it is a bigger voltage, so suppose the current which comes out from here is I. It's clear. When here also current will be I, when it will be reached at point C, what will be, some current will flow through this. Suppose the current which is flowing through I1 is 40 ohm is I1. So the remaining current, what will be the remaining current? I minus I1. It will flow through this. I minus I1 will flow through this. It's clear. And here I minus I1. I1 current is coming from that side. When both will meet here, what will happen? The current will once again become I. It's clear. So we have taken a single current. It's clear. With the help of single current, we will do this question. Now see here. So in the same way, we will apply Kirchhoff's voltage law. So we have taken one loop and we will name the loop in the same way as we are traversing. So in loop, here you can take A, B, C, D, A from Kirchhoff voltage law. Here we are traversing from where to where? From A to B, then B to C, then C to D, and then D to E. It's clear. We will apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law in that form. IR you will get here as well as here. When you are going in this way, you are traveling in the direction of current, so I into R will be positive. What is I here? I is I, R is 20, so it will be with positive side 20I. Then when you go through this here also, you go in the same direction, in the direction of current. In the direction of current, therefore what will be IR? I is I1, R is 40. So with positive sign 40 I1, it will be equal to, there is no other IR, Now this is the source of EMF that you are crossing in what way? From negative to positive. Negative to positive means EMF will be taken positive. So this equation you can cancel by 20. So it will be I plus 2I1 equals to 4. This is the equation 1. It's clear. Then in loop, you take another loop. I have taken A, B, E, F, A. Loop A, B, F, A from Kirchhoff voltage law. So you can see here you are traveling in what direction? In the direction of current. Here you are also traveling in the direction of current. So IR here, it will be positive. What will be IR? 20 into I plus here it will be 10 I minus I1 equals to, if you see here you are crossing to this cell from negative to positive, and then here also you are crossing negative to positive. So EMF at both the places you will take with plus sign. So 80 plus 40. When you will simplify, it will be 30I minus 10I1 equals to 120. On further simplifying, on cancelling by 10, you will get 3I minus I1 equals to 12. This is one equation. Another equation is I plus 2I1 equals to 4. So what will you do? You multiply this whole by 2 and add. So on adding 2 3 are 6I plus 1I, that is 7I. Minus 2I1 plus 2I1 will be cancelled, equals to 24 plus 4 equals to 28. 28, so I equals to what? I equals to 4 ampere. 4 ampere means the current through 2 ohm. Current through 2 ohm. This is equals to 4 ampere. Then you can see here what will be the current through this. So you have to find I1. You substitute here in any one equation. Here I will substitute. When you will substitute here, this is I is given 4 plus 4 plus 2I1 equals to 4. 4 plus 2I1 equals to 4 because I is this equals to 4. So from here you will get I1 equals to 0. So what is the current through 10 ohm? Current through 10 ohm, it will be equal to I minus I1. What is I here? 4. I1 is 0, that is equals to 4 ampere. It's clear? It will be equal to 4 ampere. It's clear? So this way you can do. Now then one more question that is also asked in the 2019 CBSE examination, but in the other set. It's clear? As you know that there are number of sets in the CBSE examination. So this also we will do by the Kirchhoff's law. Now see here. Here this is question number. This is 8 volt 2 ohm. This is 6 volt 1 ohm. And this is 4. Now you have to find the potential difference across 4 ohm. Potential difference across 4 ohm. That you have to find. It's clear? So how will you do this? So that I explained by taking single current. Here I am taking current I1 from here and I2 from here. It's clear? One more thing that I have told. If the value of current comes out negative, it means the actual direction of current through that resistor, through that cell will be opposite to marked in the circuit diagram. Okay? So that you will remember. Now here this I1 current comes from this side, I2 from this cell. So what will be the current here? I1 plus I2. Okay? Here you have taken this loop A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay? Now you apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law. So see here, first you take this loop BADC, loop BADCA from Kirchhoff voltage law. When you will apply here, you are moving in the direction of current, that is here. What is current? Here I1, therefore here also I1. So it will be 2I1. It's clear. But here you goes opposite to the current because you are traveling in this way. It's clear. So here current direction is this and you are going opposite. What is IR? I is I2, R is 1. So it will be 1I2 but with negative sign. Equals to sigma E. So cell is crossed negative to positive, so it is plus it, and it is positive to negative, so minus 6. So one equation will be 2I1 minus I2 equals to 2. It's clear. Then you take loop CDFE. Loop CDFEC. If you see here in the direction of current, so IR will be positive 1 into I2. Then here also the IR will be positive because you are traveling this way, so IR will be positive, that is 4I1 plus 4I2. It's clear. Equals to, cell is being crossed in what way? Negative to the positive, that is equals to 6. So it is equals to 4I1 plus 5I2 equals to 6. This is equation 2. Now you have to simplify this, solve this. So how will you solve it? You write down this 2I1 minus I2 equals to 2. You multiply this whole equation by 2 and then subtract. So when you will subtract, sign will be changed. It's clear. Here 2 2 ja 4I1, 4I1 cancel. This is 2I2 plus 5I2, that is 7I2 equals to 6 minus 4, that is equals to 2. So I2 equals to 2 upon 7 ampere. Then you place here. So what will be 2I1? This equation is 2I1 minus I2 equals to 2. Minus I2 2 upon 7 equals to 2. So 2I1 equals to 2 plus 2 upon 7. That is equals to 14 to 16 upon 7. So I1 equals to 8 upon 7 ampere. So what is the current through this 4 ohm? It is I1 plus I2. Current through 4 ohm is I1 plus I2. So current through 4 ohm. This is I1 plus I2. I1 plus I2 equals to how much? You calculated. I1 is how much? You have calculated here somewhere this I1. This is I1. It's clear. 8 upon 7. I2 is 2 upon 7. That is 10 upon 7. Here. Current is this. So what is potential difference? Potential difference across 4 ohm. So potential difference I into R. I you have calculated 10 upon 7. R is 4, that is equals to 40 upon 7 volt. 40 upon 7 volt. So this way you will do. It's clear. Now see here, after this I will tell you some more questions, but that I will not solve. So only you can note down that question. Is clear? Now see here, this is from some other book. And that you will try to solve by you do. And after that, I will take one more topic, Wheatstone bridge. What is Wheatstone bridge? It is the combination of registers which is used to determine some unknown register. It's clear. And how will you determine? So see here this question. Here it is given. That you can note. This is 1 1 1 1 1 ohm 1 ohm 1 ohm 2 ohm. Then this is 2 1 1 1 2 ohm 1 ohm 1 ohm. And this is 5. And here it is a battery whose internal resistance is negligible and EMF is given 3.7 volt. 3.7 volt. This. Now in this question you have to determine the current through 5 ohm resistance and equivalent resistance between A and B. Number 1, you have to find the current through 5 ohm resistance. Current through 5 ohm. Through 5 ohm. This and equivalent resistance in between A and B. See here, how will you determine the equivalent resistance between A and B? First you will find the total current, the current which is here, the current which is here at this point. So total current is known, voltage is known, so R equals to V upon I. That way you will find total current you find here. It's clear? And then V upon I will be the resistance. That also you will do by the Kirchhoff's law. It's clear? Now after this, today I am going to begin one more topic so that you can note down, to take the screenshot and note down. So I am going to begin the topic Wheatstone bridge. Wheatstone bridge, it is the resistors of, it is the combination of 5 resistors. It is the combination of 5 resistors in which 4 are connected, not 5 you can say. It is the combination of 4 resistors which are connected across the sides of a parallelogram, connected across the sides of the quadrilateral. Across one diagonal, a galvanometer is connected, an ammeter is connected, and across the other diagonal we connect the source of current. It's clear? In the balanced state, there will be no current through galvanometer, there will be no current through voltmeter. And when it will be in the balanced state, then ratio of resistances in any two adjacent arms will be equal to the ratio of resistance in remaining two adjacent arms. This. What is Wheatstone bridge? It is a combination of 4 resistors which is used to determine an unknown resistor. In this combination, these 4 resistors are connected across the sides of a quadrilateral. While across one diagonal we connect galvanometer, while across the other diagonal a source of current is connected. On passing the current, if galvanometer shows no deflection, on passing the current, if there is no current through the emitter which is connected across the diagonal, then bridge is said to be in the balanced state. And when it will be in the balanced state, then ratio of resistances in any two adjacent arms will be equal to ratio of resistances in the remaining two adjacent arms. Or we can say product of resistances in the opposite arms will be equal. Product of resistances in the opposite arms will be equal. Now see here. This is the Wheatstone bridge. Now see here, I am making here first. Let me make the quadrilateral. Here let one resistor is connected this way, another is along this arm, this side, third is along this side, and fourth is along this side. Across one diagonal here galvanometer is connected. Here it is a galvanometer, central zero galvanometer. And across the other diagonal will be this, but here we will not show this way, here we have shown through this way. Here source of current SL battery is connected, which will send the current in the bridge. Now see here, A, B, C, D. This we have taken R1, R2, R3, R4. It's clear? Now, here suppose this sends current I through the bridge. If galvanometer shows no deflection. No deflection means no current in G. In galvanometer there is no current, and when there is no current, then the potential of B equals to potential of D. Therefore, electric potential of point B will be equal to the electric potential of point D. Because if there will be the potential difference, what will happen? Current will flow. But since no current is flowing here, it means these 2 points are having the same potential. It is clear? And when it will be this, then bridge will be in the balanced state. Bridge will be in balanced state. It will be in the balanced state. And when bridge is in the balanced state, then we will find that the ratio of resistances in any two adjacent arms, we have taken this and this, R1 upon R2 will be equal to the ratio of resistances in remaining two arms, that is R3 upon R4. This. We will get this condition under the balanced state. Or in other words, we can say if this condition is fulfilled, then point B and point D will be at same potential. There will be no current through galvanometer. And then R1 into R4 will be equal to R2 into R3. You can see R1 into R4 equals to R2 into R3. Is clear? This is the condition of balanced Wheatstone bridge. And we have to deduce this condition. This derivation comes in the ISC board examination. This is very important, very simple derivation, And as you know that in the board examinations, always simple derivations are asked. Always there will be simple derivations which are not very lengthy. So since it is a simple derivation, therefore it is asked in the board examination. Now see here. Here we have taken current I, so current will divide at this point. Suppose current I1 goes in this side, so remaining current I minus I1 will flow through R3. It's clear? Here we have assumed that the potential of point B is higher than potential of point D. Potential of this point is higher than this point. So what will happen? When the I1 current will reach here, it will divide into two parts. Suppose the current which goes here, it is Ig. So remaining will be I1 minus Ig. You can see here. Up to this point, I1 current is reaching. But since potential of point B is higher than D, therefore current will flow in this direction. So suppose Ig current flows through galvanometer. It's clear. Here remaining I1 minus Ig will flow through this. Then here it is I minus I1 current. So at this point I minus I1 is coming from this side, Ig from this side. So what will happen? I minus I1 plus Ig will be this. When this current and this current will meet at C, what will happen? Minus I1 plus I1 cancel, Ig minus Ig, once again it will become I. It's clear? Once again it will become I. Here we have taken, as we know that galvanometer is a high resistance instrument, its resistance cannot be neglected. So here we have taken the resistance of galvanometer as G. Resistance of galvanometer as G. So see here, first you take loop A, B, D, A and apply Kirchhoff voltage law. Loop A, B, D, A from Kirchhoff voltage law. So as you know that in this loop there is no source of EMF, only IR is there. It's clear. Here you are going in the direction of current, here also in the direction of current, but here you move opposite to the current. So IR will be positive here, so what will be this? I1 into R1. Then IR will be positive here, what is I? Ig, resistance is G, so it will be Ig into G. But here you go opposite, so IR will be negative. What is IR? I is I minus I1, R is R3, so it will be with negative sign into R equals to sigma E. There is no sigma E. This you can take equation 1. Then you take loop this B, C, D, B. Loop this B, D, C, B from Kirchhoff voltage law. Means moving from where to where? B to D, then D to C, then C to D. Here B to D you are moving, therefore IR will be positive, that is Ig into G. Here also IR will be positive, I minus I1 plus Ig into R4. Here IR will be negative because you are moving opposite. So what will be this? Minus I1 minus Ig into R2. Here also there is no source of EMF, therefore in the right side sigma E will be 0 because in that loop there is no source of EMF. It is clear? Now see here, as you know that in the balanced state, in balanced bridge, what is Ig? Ig equals to 0. Ig equals to 0, so what will you get? I1 into R1 minus I minus I1 into R3 equals to 0. Means I1 R1 I minus I1 into R. This you can take equation 3. From 2 what will you get? When Ig you will put 0, this term will vanish, and here only what is left? I minus I1 into R4 minus I1 into R2 equals to 0. So see here, when you will write this, rearrange, so I1 R2 you will keep in this side. Why? Because here we have taken I1 R1. It's clear? So I1 R2, and this you write in that side, I minus I1 into R4. This is equation 4. If you divide this equation by this equation side by side, this equation by this equation side by side, 3 by 4. So see here, I1 will be cancelled, R1 upon R2. Then I minus I1 will be cancelled with this, R3 upon R4. This is the condition of balanced Wheatstone bridge. Now see here, as already I am told, it is used to determine some unknown resistance. Here if we see, these two resistors R1 and R2, these are called the resistors in known ratio arms. These are called the R1, R2 are called resistors in resistances in ratio arms. Means their absolute value is not required. Only R1 upon R2 is required. It's clear? Absolute value of these resistances are not needed. मतलब ये जरूरी नहीं है कि R1 कितने ओम का है और R2 कितने ओम का है. हमको केवल ये पता हो that R1 upon R2 equals to 1 upon 2. हो सकता है R1 3 ओम का हो, R2 6 ओम का हो, R1 4 ओम का हो, R2 8 ओम का हो. It's clear? So their actual values are not required. Only ratio is needed. AB and BC are called the ratio arms. AB and BC are called the ratio arms. Then R3 ratio arms. AB and BC are called ratio arms. Then if you see here, this R3, it is the known resistance in the known arm. R3 is known as, it is the resistance of known value, known resistance, whose value is known to us. It's clear? In known arm. Known arm. That we name as AD. It's clear? And R4, this is the unknown resistance, which you have to determine. Unknown resistance in unknown arm. Unknown arm. Here unknown arm is CD. It's clear? R4 you have to determine. Now see here. If you find out R4 from here, from this equation, what will be R4? R4 will be equal to R3 into R2 upon R1. It's clear? R3 into R2 upon R1. That way you can write this. It's clear? Means if R3 is known and the ratio of R1 and R2 is known, so you can determine the unknown resistance. By this way we can determine the unknown resistance. By locating the null point, that we will see how will you do in the meter bridge, which is the next topic. It's clear? Now see here, its sensitivity will be more. It can determine the value of unknown resistance more accurately. It can determine the value of unknown resistance more accurately. Means its sensitivity will be more when all the four resistors, including the unknown one, are of approximately same order. It's clear? Neither no one is very high and no one is very low. सभी क्या है? लगभग बराबर वैल्यू के हैं. In that case, sensitivity will be maximum and we can determine unknown resistance more accurately. It's clear? That we will learn in the next topic. It's clear? So, thank you.